The next panel discussion is about design ROI, what clients really want from interior architecture. Super important topic, I must say. Just checking if my panelists are here and ready. If you're ready, just make your way to the stage. Melissa, I see that you made it, so please grab a seat wherever you feel comfortable. I'll give you a little bit of insight on the session while we get ready. So this one flips the script and brings client voices to the forefront. Hospitality, operators, F&B groups, developers, and brand owners share what makes interior design truly successful from their perspective. From guest experience and operational efficiency to brand impact and bottom line results, this discussion will uncover the metrics and mindsets behind high-performing design investments. All right, Eli, Milica. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. Hi. And I believe we are waiting for Richard. Oh, there he is. Okay, good. All right then. You should all have a. Do you have a handheld mic? Switch it on for you. All right.
Yes.
Is it on? Can we switch on the mic? The best way to reach everybody is if you hold it really close. That's.
Hello.
Yes. Working.
Okay.
All right.
Not too close.
Shall we do a quick round of introductions? Because we have a few extra minutes, right? All right. We're just waiting for Richard. Yeah, they are with us. Richard, ready? Yeah. Hi. Not your first rodeo, huh? All right. We were just saying we'll do a quick round of... Back on track? Back on track. Okay, good. So... we'll do a quick round of introductions. Just in a few sentences, give us a bit of context on what you do on your...
My name is Ellie Sinnevåg. I'm director at Snøhetta. So we are a multidisciplinary company on architecture, landscape and interior. I'm responsible for all our projects in the Middle East. And now I'm very excited that we're working on the new Royal Doria Opera House.
Oh, fantastic. Milica?
Milica Didic from LA Interior, studio director. Something that we are very excited about is a hospitality project that we recently and department that we recently start developing. Probably I'll talk about it a lot during our conversation. Also, I want to say that stage is amazing, and it's one of my favorite. And you touched all the points that I actually want to discuss for ROI, emotional ROI.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Yeah.
Hi, Ihab Hadda, Director of Design and Development for Dan Company, PIF Company. So we are doing thematic and experiential resorts in the kingdom on the secondary, and hopefully we will be moving to the main cities.
Jamil Adra, I'm Managing Director for A&B, Arif & Bintok Consultant in Riyadh. Arif & Bintok is 50 years old company. We are doing full A&E consultancy. Architecture, landscape, interior, and full engineering as well. Happy to be again in Design Index.
Familiar face. Yeah. Good to have you back.
Thank you.
Richard?
Good evening or good afternoon. My name is Richard Peeler. I'm the head of product management and technical sales support. I work for Geberit International. We are a manufacturer. I think I'm the only manufacturer here. Yeah. So if you have time, just pass by our booth. We're just facing the stage. And obviously, we are handling the entire Middle East from Riyadh. We have a brand new office. We have as well an office in Jeddah, but we have as well offices all around the region. Hello, everyone.
You guys are always next to the stage. Whenever I'm looking for the stage, I look for your booth. That's how it goes. All right, I've prepared some questions in advance. They've been shared with all of you, full disclosure. So we're just going to go through it, shine a light on it from your experience. We have so many different, expertises on the stage. And towards the end, I'll leave a few minutes for some questions from the audience. So let's just dive right in. When you think of ROI in interior design, what does it mean to you beyond financial return? Perhaps for you specific, it's about guest experience, brand loyalty, operational efficiency. How do you weigh in these factors?
Maybe from my side, design obviously is quite important for us as well. but I think a lot of customers are focusing purely on the design itself. I think we should not neglect the performance or the functionality as well of a product, which is sometimes a little bit misleading, I would say.
I think for us that's not interior design kind of transcends the aesthetics. It's not just about the way things look and feel, but it's about how people interact with the space, the emotion it's create, the kind of impact and how people experience the spaces that we create.
Everyone is going to defend design, so I was about to defend clients and their requirements, but I think that we are aligned there. I think that design should be in frame of budget and expectations from client, and I think similarly what we discussed for this stage, I think creativity thrives in that constraints. Besides financial, I think that you always think like money in, money out, but also operational aspect of the F&B, of the hospitality and emotional ROI. I think it's more for the residential units and end user from our end.
Maybe I'm the only one as a developer here, so the most hated on this subject, as I am the guardian on this. So basically, return of investment. I believe we start every project, if it doesn't do an ROI, that means it is either, I don't want to say it is planned wrongly, but sometimes it is a statement that is required at certain destinations. Unfortunately, everyone, as interior designer, especially I'm coming from that background, everyone wants to do destinations. So the thing is that there is a lifetime, especially for example, when we're talking about hospitality, projects have a lifetime that you need to get an ROI for them, which is, the span of it is 7 to 10 years. If we are spending beyond that and we are not getting this ROI, that means this project will be losing at a certain point and we will keep investing it for ages. So definitely ROI is limited from investment perspective to first market study to understand how this ROI is coming. Then we have to move to the next stage, which is the lifetime of the project when you need to renovate it or to redesign it. So this is how I frame it at this stage. When it comes to interior design, unfortunately, it's the last stage of the project. So it's always the victim of all the other trades. This is where when a lot of developers you see now, they are hiring people who are coming from architecture and interior design. So we are somehow helping by guarding that budget that's remained at the end in order to give you that unique project that you are looking for.
Actually, I just want to comment on what Ihab just mentioned about the interior when it comes at the last stage of the design, which I really believe that he should come much earlier than that. So in this way, we can really control the budget. We can always design up to budget by stage, and then we can achieve as well the guest experience that we are targeting for. And whenever the guest is happy, then he will come back, and then it's going to be a marketing material for the product, and then the ROI is going to increase. So proper guest experience with proper operation and maintenance will increase the ROI.
How can we make that connection better? Like, what would you say do you need from your end, or maybe how can you involve designers earlier in the process? Or do you have different challenges when you bring designers early in the process?
No, it is. Basically, budgets, as I say, they are structured based on a business plan. So the division of each percentage that you are spending on this project is definitely there is a formula that we do. So we try as much as possible is to keep that percentage and monitor it through the project. The thing that can help is that the interior designer need to understand what is the vision of that project, at what niche is it serving, and what the quality you need to look at in order to make it successful and to budget. So definitely the engagement that happened from the beginning and make the designer understand what is the delivery product that we need to reach at the end of the journey. This is something definitely is going to help in working the ROI. Yeah.
I guess also on the measurable side of things, if I would really simplify it, that it could be a number at the bottom of the line, right? But we also talk about a lot of intangible things. It's how people feel in a space. It's how people connect, how they connect with the local context, and all these things. Maybe you can shine a light on this, Ellie, from your end. Like, how do you measure the success of a space if it's about how the people feel? Like, how do you
first I would
success?
like to comment, I'm fortunate to work in an office that has all of the disciplines: architecture, interior, and landscape, and product design. So what we try to do is to work together from the get-go, so that, because then you eliminate a lot of coordination or afterthought. You can kind of work together from the beginning with the client towards the vision and a set budget. So not that the interior is kind of an added-on element that comes when all the other things has been coordinated. So I think that's also a very, if you can plan these things from the early beginning, that's where you really have the optimization of the cost drivers as well. If you have to change things later on, it's much more, it comes with a different price. And for us, I think, we work very closely with the client, so trying to get an understanding of what are the ambitions and of this project from the beginning, so we all kind of work on the same page. From an experience point of view, especially with cultural projects, is of course how these spaces interact with the function it's supposed to have, how they perform as space, but also how they perform as environment to enjoy, take part in, with the senses, with your eyes and ears and smell as well. So I think it's kind of this holistic approach that is important to embed.
I would also like to comment on the development. We work with, we work with a lot of IKEA clients who are...
I told you I'm the most hated on this.
I completely agree. But I also have example that there is a fine line when it's not about the budget, but last investment you do on this financial ROI, it's making more return than all the previous one. So let's say if you have buildings and you put last 10 penthouses that will be high-end and design, that will make popularity of the building higher, and obviously prices for it. So yes, we have these examples as well, but I think, and I agree with you, that it's all communication with the client, and it's also building the trust. So once you deliver the client what they want, then they're sort of, okay, I trust you now. They know what they do, I'll give them space to deliver something that's out of our expectations.
I totally agree. I mean, definitely this is why we go for specialists, in order to open more opportunity on that space and bring a lot of other activities that can bring revenues. So there is a lot of now in hospitality, people are utilizing lobbies for a lot of services that wasn't planned in the beginning. Previously, you used to go to a lobby of a hotel, you just check in, you have the lounge, you may have a very light F&B, and then you go to your room. Now you have a lot of concepts in the lobbies and some other areas where it is revenue generating by utilizing a lot of maybe small corners, small spaces, which
for
is
daily
definitely
visitors only, not only for the guest, hotel guests as well.
Yeah.
Guest experience.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you this. That's my next question.
Sorry.
Thanks for taking me there. Yeah, because I wrote down, can you share a project, whether your own or maybe something that you've seen, where interior design directly impacted business performance? So we talked about the lobby and having coffee shops and targeting a whole different type of guests. So whether through higher occupancy, stronger F&B sales, or guest retention also. Maybe we can talk about that for a little bit.
Do you want to tell something? I also want to add, which we didn't have in our questions, but I was thinking a lot. Office space, like working environment, and how it's designed, how desks are positioned, it's increasing productivity of employees a lot. I know it from like working with the clients and on my personal experience that it's healthier working environment. People are in general more happy, want to spend more time here, and productivity is higher. So I think that's one of the things that we often forgot when it say like ROI, which boosting business at the end. And yes, we come to finance.
I just want to answer Isra's question about the project. You know, I don't want to do some marketing for a brand, but there is a, you know, the 25 hours, for example, hotel in Dubai. Actually, you know, the lobby, whenever you go to the lobby, it's really a new concept in the region where you can find the library, you can find, it's not only F&B, you can rent a bicycle from the lobby and go for a round. So this is something that whenever you step in, you feel that you are really welcomed. It changed everything, and then you keep thinking about whenever you have another trip there to go to that place because you feel relaxed. You are not really treated as outsider, but you are treated as somebody coming to his place and he would like to enjoy it. So this is a simple example about just within the lobby and the accessibility as well from the lobby to the business center to the food and beverage services. It's very easy, very simple and friendly.
It's interesting you mentioned this because I think since its opening, almost every design talk, somebody brings it up or mentions it for different aspects. But
Exactly.
yeah, you're right. I think
Exactly.
for those living in Dubai, it's one of our...
You know, even whenever you are there, even the housekeeping, they leave a note for you every day. Did you enjoy it? Did we clean it properly? Do you have? And it's handwritten. It's not something typed. It's handwritten. So it shows how much of interest they are giving to the guest. So you know, it makes a difference. Really, it makes a difference.
If the handwritten notes makes all the difference, do we really need good interior design then? How big is the role of interior design?
No, I mean, you know, there is a lot of messages that we are receiving in the hotels. They are either on our phones or on the screen or typed. But in 25 hours, they are writing it, the housekeepers are writing it by hand.
I think it comes down to kind of maybe the personal touch, the level of care and consideration and thought that has put into this. And also, you know, when it comes to your initial questions, like for instance, we have been working on a lot of cultural projects that also, of course, is then governmental or projects for society. But when we did the Oslo Opera in Norway, it was the first new built opera house, and we did a lot of post-occupancy study to kind of check what kind of, value this project created, apart from, of course, and we saw, enormous rise in memberships, in people attending the performances, and people taking photos, and all of these added values that both interior and exterior can create when it's done, in a way that people embrace it. So for the wider societies, of course, this creates also enormous value for the city, for the districts it's in, and it becomes, a part of this almost like city branding or, places that people have top of mind.
Yeah, I guess that's where everything comes together, yeah.
I can touch base on something little bit different model. Our offering, for example, what we are doing in Dan is that we are offering experiential resorts that's on every city. We are breaking that into 3 themes: agri, eco, and adventure. So the idea, okay, we are providing 3 different experiences, 3 different designs, it's different experiences. But we were started thinking about how we can attract people for, at the end, I want a longer stay for that guest or to come back again. So what we did is that we start inserting teasers in each resort that relates you to the other experience that you may have on the other component. So we created a space that is central that for people can experience what is on that other component. And that should be bringing those people again and again. And this is also, this was based on design. The designer has to present it in a proper way that he can have the experience and it show you what is the expectation there and what is the quality. So this is some kind of another model with that where you can bring further guest experience and attract people for longer stay.
Smart, yeah. I have a question similar to what you're sharing with us. That's client driven. So many clients demand flexibility, right? Spaces that can adapt as markets or concepts evolve. So how should designers approach creating interiors with built-in agility for changing demands, for changing needs, for...
That's for me, right?
Yeah, that's for you.
You have all the designers is here, so yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, I experienced that when I was an operator. Before I moved to development. At that time, there was a lot of fluidity in the market. You know, we have certain benchmarks, especially when it comes to hospitality, that you start with a cost per key. At a certain point, the market is going up and down, and cost change. So we started receiving a lot of clients who's coming demanding to develop certain hotels that is somehow lower than the standard of the market when it comes to cost per key. So we started rejecting every single client coming there, like this is our benchmark. We were very rigid. At the end, we started losing more and more projects. And at the end, you know, as an operator, I want to grow by number of keys. So we started thinking creatively in how we can do that. So we started talking about flexible spaces, flexible operation. So we created something called the clustering and operation. So we had the models of small number of keys that's distributed around a certain area in the region. And if you collect this number of keys, when you talk about revenues, you cannot make it, because all of us know that a hotel to be making revenues, you need to be about 180 keys or above, or you need to sell it for a certain niche of people. So for a low number of keys, like 60, 50, 40, so we start thinking creatively how we make that operation flexible. We created the cluster operation. The same thing, we started looking at front of house, where we start making some spaces can be converted into different functions rather than doubling those spaces. Because, I mean, the trick about hospitality is what you are spending on GFA and how much you load on your keys. So you need to reduce this GFA in order to make those cost per key affordable. So this was the approach. So we converted a lot of spaces. Just to give you an example in design, we have a multifunction space that we designed it by rather than having some physical elements of design or furniture, we converted into something that's can change function by projection. So we installed certain projectors so that same place can be converted into a gym. The same time it can be converted into a playroom, etc., etc. So,
you know, in these days, agility is becoming mandatory at all levels. I was talking about hospitality, but it's not only related to hospitality. Yes, all the operators are asking for a ballroom that can be converted for a wedding hall and conference rooms and business center, and and a suite that be converted to talking rooms. So this agility is there in the hospitality, but as well for example, in office spaces. Today we need bigger conference rooms, so let's take out these two. So agility is there at all levels, not only in the hospitality. And here I'd like really to mention two entities, two stakeholders in the design that they are represented by one of them, the manufacturer and the engineers. You know, whenever you are designing something related to be so flexible, it's a nightmare for an engineer that is designing the cooling system and the power load and this and that. So the back of house, actually, the work that's done in the backstage is really tremendous, and they really do a great job to meet the agility that the operator and the end user is asking for.
Yeah, I can copy that. I think also, you know, we always try to find a balance between, you know, bespoke elements and then, you know, more flexible or adaptable elements. I think, yeah, flexibility is a great thing, but if you only kind of trust on that, it can also be something that is either or. It's nothing special about it because it can be turned into anything. So if you want to have something that has, you know, qualities that give some longevity and also last over time, there has to also be things that are there to stay, and then but also elements that can evolve and change. So trying to find that balance both in the interior design but also in the technical design of a building is really important, because if everything can be anything, it can also be nothing.
Yeah, so flexibility is not always longevity, right? Richard, I wanted to hear from you, like flexibility, is that a blessing or a curse for you guys?
Flexibility, of course, is always complexity, I would say. And I totally agree with you. I mean, if you're coming back to interior design, I mean, you're going to a restaurant because you want to have a nice experience at the end of the day, right? I mean, if it is a restaurant and in a few hours later it's becoming a ballroom or whatever, I think you will lose this special environment. And I think there we need to be careful, because I think people are always looking for nice environment. They need to feel comfortable, cozy, and then they will be as well willing to pay money for that, right? If it is becoming too flexible, it becomes somehow just ordinary, and that's, I think, a big risk. Absolutely.
I want to also take it back to the measurable side of things, because there's so many moving parts. Designers, believe it or not, but often measure success by awards and media coverage. As a client, what signals tell you that a design is truly working for your brand or your business?
Okay, this is a struggle, because most of the time you see something really nice, but at the end, like yesterday, I had a presentation that I was looking into it. The designer was putting all his hearts on it, and he's doing those designs. Suddenly, my focus was looking at what type of marble they installed on the upscale product versus what they are introducing on the luxury product. So, I mean, experience, definitely. Getting exposed to material and getting the awareness of what has been installed there, how you can do it in a way. Me personally, the last thing I hate is that to finish a product, then go to value engineer it. Because this is something, as we can design it from the beginning right, picking the right material, all that, why I have to go into that process? So unfortunately in the region, the mentality of value engineer is cost cutting here. Unfortunately, exactly. The good thing now is that, as I said, a lot of developers and operators, they are expanding their design departments with skilled people who understand what is the budget, what are these materials, so you can give the call yes or no from the beginning, rather than having those amazing imagery or renderings, and then we had to go to the process of value engineer. So it's experience, definitely.
Yeah. I hear the word value engineering and I see everyone twitch a little.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
It's misused, by the way. It's really misused.
Yeah, absolutely. Milica, on the delivery side of things, how do you balance, because we talk value engineering and that comes down to time and budget, right? So how do you balance design ambition with the need to deliver quickly to the market? Because in the end, time is money, right?
I also hate value engineering, and I think that good designers should be technically capable to understand client needs in sense of budget, timeline, materials they're using, and I mean we tend to cherish that knowledge in our company at least. So I think also that good design doesn't mean that like just flashy or nice photos. It should perform well. It should perform for client. How to do that, again, I'm turning to a communication with the client from the beginning. I also don't think that good designers' biggest goal should be awards and publications, although it's nice. I think happy client, it's like the best reward that at least we can get, and that's how I personally feel. So in general, it's communication with the client from the beginning, understanding all the aspects of client's needs, delivery to a certain point, and then little push boundaries in the end and see how clients react. If they trust you, they will allow you to do this extra boldness and creativity.
I think time is a very interesting topic, the question which you're asking. I mean, here in the Middle East, everything needs to be super fast, right? Especially here in Saudi Arabia, Vision 2030 is a big topic as well. And obviously us as a manufacturer, that's a very, very big topic as well. I mean, obviously we are having a strong presence as well in Europe, so we are trying to always to produce products which are easy to install, but as well fast to install, because the labors in Europe are quite expensive. However, if you're speaking now about as well Saudi Arabia, which is as well picking up in terms of prefabrication became a very important topic as well. As well there, we are investing a lot of time and money as well in order to come up with new technology to build faster as well, especially in market like we are here now in the Middle East.
Yeah, that's a very important thing to mention. That's probably, we have the wildest timelines here. On to some examples. Can you, well, sometimes it's easier to find the bad examples, so maybe we start there. Can you think of a project where your own or something that you've seen where design underperformed? So what, to your opinion, was missing, and what as a designer or from your point of view can you learn from it?
It's not that I'm defending our company, but the only project I can remember is my apartment. So I consider all aspects, financial, operational, functional, very functional, besides emotional. So I was so focused on building other projects that like I missed that small point that I cannot feel it's my home yet. And I think that's like not connecting with the client and client not be honest on their needs. So I will share that example.
Oh, good. I mean, I can think of some spaces that I've walked into and I thought it was really underwhelming and definitely didn't perform. But
you know, if we want to say something about bad performance, I don't know if I can judge it, but if there is anybody from Riyadh Metro available, I'm happy to hear his opinion. The metro station of Zaha Hadid in the CAF, it's amazing design, but from my point of view, it's underperforming. It's so narrow and it's not accepting the flow of people in the morning and the peak time. The passages are so narrow. So, for example, you compare it to STC station. Both stations, they have connection, two lines connection. Even maybe STC has 3 lines, no, 2 lines connection. Okay, it has wide spaces. People can wait easily. But in the CAF metro station, the occupancy is really high because there is a lot of people going to Princess Noura University, to the airport. So, you know, the peak time, people going or coming to CAF and going to the university or to airport, there is no space even to stand. Whenever the door is open, you cannot go out from the metro.
How do you think that's possible? I mean, do you think that's maybe linked to the time? I mean, we have so much data available,
exactly.
So that flow could have been studied then, right? So is it maybe, I think what we sometimes see, especially this part of the world, that things are designed for a different time or different time ahead, and maybe we're not prepared for the flow of...
I'm sure there is something missed in the data analysis for the passengers at that station, specifically at that station. The design is amazing. Whenever you look at it from outside, it's really nice, and then from inside is even better. But the flow of people...
I mean, as uncomfortable as it sounds, you actually make me so curious that I want to go check it out.
If you go through the social medias, you see plenty of images about how people are stuck inside and they cannot move.
Interesting. Okay, let's move on to positive things here. So on the flip side, can anyone think of an example of a project, your own or something that you've seen, where design really exceeded expectations and what factors made it work so well? You already shared 25 Hours Hotel. We all love that example. Yeah, can we think of something else maybe?
This stage.
This stage?
This stage, yes. I really like when I entered, I was like, wow, I didn't expect this. I think it was definitely exceeding expectations. It's making good impact and like of a whole exhibition. Yeah, so I would say that.
I think from a personal perspective, we worked on ITRA, the King Abdulaziz Center for World Heritage in Dhahran, which was a long time ago, back in 2008. And we designed a lot of functions that at that time was, in the front run for the kingdom. And now to come back and see all of these activities, all of these programs, all of the use of the people, for me, is a great achievement. The design is what it is, but how people that this has created a stage for, numerous cultural programs, activities, children's, museums, and so on. I think that's where I kind of excelled in my experience when I worked at it, or now when we did a competition in 2008.
Wow, that's nice to hear, and also how it evolves over time and gets slightly different functions. All right, let's do one fun closing question before we open it up to the audience. So, if you could give designers, let's skip designers because otherwise it's going to happen. If we could give one piece of advice to better align with clients and designers' goals tomorrow, what would it be? It's not necessarily pointed for you yet, but you can take it.
I mean, the experience that we are having is that, this market is really hungry, and there is a lot of projects. There is a lot of people are coming from different cultures, from different markets. The advice I would tell is that understand the culture here. It's very rich, whether it is the locations or the culture of the people. There is a lot of things that you can build on. I started realizing this when I started putting the stories for our project, and we did those researches. Every single location in the kingdom, you have a story to tell. And once we start opening those resorts, you will start experiencing those, which is something you can take back home. This is the only advice I would give. There is a lot to get out of this culture rather than bringing something from outside and address it.
I think to understand the culture is a returning topic, always during index design talks, especially in Saudi. For outsiders, in your view, because a lot of people have an interest to come here, let's say, do you think you can only succeed when you're actually on the ground? I think for Dubai, for example, it works that way. You only get things done if you have someone in Dubai or if you're actually there to run the show. How do you feel that is for Saudi?
The same thing. I believe that the speed that we have right now is what used to be in Dubai in 2002, 2003. So people need to understand, as I said, culture. They need to understand the speed of project. You need to understand also the market, what the local suppliers can offer, because not everything you can import from outside. Definitely I personally prefer face-to-face meeting to sort issues rather than sort it on online meetings. So absolutely, I recommend people to at least to be on the ground in order to understand and move on.
Can we think of some more lessons and tips and tricks, takeaways for the audience, some practical?
As Ihab was saying about being present in Saudi Arabia, you cannot transfer the culture just by digital meetings. I can describe the rose to you and show it to you, but if you don't smell it, you don't feel it. So you need to be on the ground. Yes, you need to be on the ground. From A&D consultant perspective, I feel that managing the stakeholders from the in the design firm and from the client side is very important to meet the mission and vision of the client. There is always a message to deliver. There is always a story to tell about the product to maintain the identity. If we take an example, let's say, we use the car to move from point A to point B. However, you have Ferrari, you have Jeep Wrangler, and you have Audi Q7. Okay, 3 cars. they meet the purpose, but each one has a story to tell. Each one has a way to do it. One of them you can go for fast speed, one of them you can go off-road, and the other one you feel comfortable, safe, and move from wherever you want to wherever you want. So it's different experience, different story to tell, as Ihab was saying. And this cannot be achieved without having everybody on the table, round table, putting ideas together, streamline to hit the vision and mission.
Yeah, I would like to comment. I think it's very important for designers that I know it don't come from here, that they inform themselves, they gain knowledge, that you get dig deep into understanding and background, listen and also be humble, I would say, and then I would also engage with young talent. There is so much emerging talent in the region. And because they are the ones that knows also what is, talked about, what are the discussions ongoing. So collaborate with that and with them, and be there for the long-term perspective.
Really commit. Milica, any?
No, honestly, I would agree with you completely. I would just add flexibility of the designers. Obviously, we have a company in office in Dubai, but we have a lot of clients in Saudi, and we are very flexible. Like, we have designers flying from Mauritius to Saudi to China for projects in like 2 weeks, and we adapt ourselves to client needs. Rather, if client requirements face-to-face meeting, then yes, we will do face-to-face meeting. If it's exploring local suppliers and materials, yes, that's what we are going to do. So I think flexibility is a big one for the designers.
Yeah.
Maybe from my side, I would say being honest, transparent, I would say, innovative as well, coming up with new technology, don't copy-paste only, and as well manage expectations, I would say, very important as well.
Manage expectations.
That's nice.
I love that saying.
No pressure.
All right, let's. Okay, I have time to take 1 or 2 questions from the audience for this fantastic panel. There you go. Can we bring a microphone over here, please?
Hello, my name is Ahmed Bayashoud. I'm a lighting designer. Thank you for this interesting panel discussion. I would like to comment about the Center of Ithra, the King Abdulaziz Center in Tehran. Whenever you go, like the first time I visited was 3 years ago, you see the place is really timeless, and it's in terms of design and functionality, many things happening for the people, around the people, whether it's in Ramadan or it's in other holidays, lots of function. So one of these like design really like meet expectation and think more. You pointed very important point here regarding value engineering. It's always this value engineering, as you mentioned, Ihab, that you do the render, you do everything, and then, but what we face as designers, that when you come to the client and you try to talk about budget, always budget is the sky. And then you do the work, and then no, cut. Sometimes even they go with value engineering, and it turns so bad, then they have to go to the original design. And I like this quote. There is a quote like, value engineering adds no value to the engineering. So we should all remember that. How can you, as designers, how can you convince the client from the beginning, no, this is gonna add something like ROI, as we talk here. We need to invest in the design, and we need to convince them to go like within a reasonable like budget, so we can go on instead of doing the work twice or 3 times. Thank you.
Yes, for
Although
you,
it's my name, but
to be
I think
honest,
it is for
to
the
be honest
designer,
about
no?
the budgets.
طيب, look, my experiences in hospitality, I can just advise you on this one. Basically, there is a lot of feasibility studies that is in the market. How do you divide the budget? So basically, for example, if you are talking, as I said, in hospitality, you have something as called cost per key. So if you are building an upscale product, you are between, let's say, $280,000 to $330,000 per key. Just as an example, I'm not pointing to any specific project, but as a benchmark, there is a number is there. If you go to the feasibility studies or the business studies, there's certain percentage how this budget is broken into. So for example, you could be ending by 60% on a hard cost, you have a 10% soft cost, you have 18% as an FF&D or S&D. So if you have that formula, and you know what is the budget per key that you have, you understand where you need to be on your hard cost, on your FF&D and on your OS&D, for example. So in hospitality, it's defined. I'm not sure for other projects how it is calculated. I'm coming from this background, so I can advise you on that. But when it comes, definitely keep in mind that those percentages and those numbers are always related to a certain buildable area. This is not an open percentage or numbers. So as you link yourself to those two, you will keep doing that project on the quality that has been budgeted and on the time or the requirement that has been specified on the initial study.
Actually, we were discussing at the beginning of this session that design to budget is very important. So whenever you start designing up to budget from first stage, this is very important. This will eliminate the redundancy work that you are and the abortive work that you are going to do. So if you feel that, for example, that the vision of the client is going to exceed the budget that he's allocating for that specific role, then we need to sit with the client and educate our client. Not all our client, they have the knowledge of the market and the knowledge of the design, but we need to educate them and then give them the options. If you are looking for this, this is a solution. If you have this budget, you will reach, this is the best what you can get. And then you move forward. So you take it stage by stage. You don't finish up to the end of the design to get the approval. No, you move stage by stage, get approval on the design stage and the budget that you have. And then you move to the next stage. This will eliminate a lot of losses on your scope.
I will just add one comment as well, and keep your cost consultant. Definitely, when you do projects, we always have 2 audits from cost consultant, and one should be working with you. So basically, as you have a proper cost consultant working with you, he will definitely make you reach this, and he will highlight where are you going beyond the budget or where you need to align yourself. So this is also another key that you can use.
Hello, thank you for the great panel discussion. I have a question for Ellie. My name is Fayrouz Al-Awami. I'm a designer and architectural researcher. I have a question. So being a part of, being a senior architect at Snøhetta and as well being on the business side, when does the business hat kind of inform your design workflow? And when do you separate it at all, if even?
Good question. No, I would say having a background as an architect, when we decide what project we would like to engage in is very important, because we always consider, what are the framework for this project, what are the potential, benchmarking for budget and also cost per square meters and so on. And it's not like we always seek for, the highest number, but it's the clarity of it. And are we able within our company to deliver well on these conditions? So what we try to do is we are fortunate to get a lot of invitations to projects and so on. So we also have to do this assessment very early on. And that happens very fast often, because you have to often decide very quickly if you want to be part of a competition or move forward with proposal. So you have to have this kind of 360 on framework for this project. It becomes of design ambitions, work conditions, align with our strategy. Are we capable to deliver well on this? And also, of course, the more financial terms. So we do like a joint session on this and decide, move or not move on this. So I think having a kind of a teamwork, seeing this from different aspects, is really important. So you cannot just, you can make decisions that, okay, we will move with this product, but we might not earn so much money. But that's then a conscious decision that we find it so interesting. It could have other aspects. It could be branding. It could be about other things, research, and so on. That creates value. But it's always done within a small team. And we need to kind of know each other well and trust this in order to make those considerations.
Thank you. Good question. Really good one. All right, we're at the end of this panel discussion, so I'm going to ask you for a big applause for my fantastic panel. Thank you, Ellie, thank you, Milica, thank you, Ihab, Jamil, and Richard.